Hey guys, it's Ronno, and today I'm going to be doing a different type of video. I'm going to be doing the top 5 worst roster movements in CSGO history. And now, these 5 are either made by the player or by the organization, and these really didn't make sense. It really didn't help out the teams, and the lower ones are probably going to be the more recent ones, because we can't really judge how good they are, considering that there's just a couple months to show when they're on the team. But the ones higher up are probably going to be ones that happened a long time ago. So anyways, hope you guys do enjoy this video, and let's get into it. Alright, so the first one that we're going to be talking about is Stewie2K over to MIBR. Well, SK first, which eventually changed to MIBR. Anyways, this was very dumb considering that Stewie2K already won a major with Cloud9. They had good success, made it to the finals at CS Summit, and did pretty good against FaZe over in Katowice. All of a sudden decides to completely change his path with MIBR, and MIBR did, well, SK, excuse me, they did a pretty stupid thing to completely change their language just for one player. I mean, I don't get why they couldn't pick any of the players from Nowtech, Como, or NTC to come on their team. Instead, completely changing the language, and that's really got them in a slump. Now, the only thing that makes it make more sense is Tarek joining the team because he's also English. And I think that made sense from Tarek, but Stewie, come on, why couldn't you just try to win another major with a pretty good team? Alright, so for our number 4 position, it's going to be Kirby over to North. And this one really questioned me, because Astralis, even though they weren't doing too good, they didn't even make it to the playoffs over in the major. Before then, Device was sick for a very long time, so it was hard for them to get good results, and they even made it to Blast Pro Series finals against SK before then. Anyways, he sends out a tweet saying that North is a very strong team, but pretty much the only strong player that they had, which was Config, left over about Optic. And I really don't understand why they made this roster change. Very bad from him. And ever since then, Astralis has done amazing. They've won 4 major events now, and North has only won 1. And if you're saying North is a better team, I mean, who would you rather have, Glaive or MSL? Device or Mertz? I mean, you could say that for any of the players, it doesn't make sense. So, Kirby, you could just stuck to Astralis and maybe won you some decent titles. Alright, so for the number 3 position, it's definitely going to have to go to Optic. I mean, Optic made some bad decisions, although Stanislaw leaving wasn't necessarily their fault after when it went to Liquid. They really fell after they went through Hiko, Jason R, and Hayes trying to find a good 5th, and it really didn't work out for them. So they did make a roster change, which was definitely needed, but they kept Mixwell, and they changed to Magisk, Freiberg, and Alu, who Freiberg and Alu both were pretty much out of their prime, and HS, who's a no-name player, just coming from Penta, who's not a good team. And they weren't able to do much. All they were able to do was beat SK Gaming in a best of 1. And I think it was a bad move, but they didn't even give them much time to, gel. They take all their players away, make a 60% Danish, 40% American team with Shazam and Stanislaw, who later left, and they added Config, Cajun B, and Gade, and it really didn't work out. Luckily, they changed to 2 Danish players, Yugi and Snappy, but it still hasn't worked. They've completely dropped off since, become irrelevant, and Optic has completely lost their name. So if they made some decent roster changes earlier, maybe it wouldn't have happened. Alright, number 2 is definitely going to go over to Fnatic. And Fnatic was a great team for a long time. I mean, they won 3 majors, had incredible streaks, winning tons of events back to back. And all of a sudden, in 2016, they decided to make a roster swap and make Godsend. And now, I do know that there was some issues with the team, and some of the players didn't want to talk to each other, they got in arguments, but it really doesn't make sense considering that you've won a ton of majors and a ton of events together. I'm pretty sure they could have maybe just canceled a couple events, worked through it for a couple weeks, and easily come back together, but instead, it took them a little over maybe half a year or so, and it really didn't help them. It just got all the players, they had to work with each other for a while. They were a little bit rusty with each other. The communication wasn't there, and all of a sudden they went from a incredibly good team to a team that would maybe make the playoffs every now and then, maybe semis if they're lucky. They could have kept their glory, but the issues with the team is the only reason why this will stay at number 2. And number 1 is none other than the man Spencer Martin Hiko. And now I do know that he was kicked off of Liquid, chose to be a stand-in for Optic for a couple weeks, and I don't know why they didn't keep him. Hiko wasn't doing entirely bad with the team considering there wasn't a couple weeks, and all of a sudden he's just off for a couple months, doing absolutely nothing, maybe streaming a little bit, and he comes up and says that he's making a new team. He's making Team Rogue. And Rogue, I'm sorry, has turned out to be completely horrible to say the least. I mean, they've maybe made it to semis of like one event. They're making the major, but it's really what used to be the major qualifier. I mean, they haven't accomplished much in over a year. They really gotta step it up. And Hiko, after that time, he could have realized that instead of playing with no-name players, although he has picked up decent players like Sick, and he could instead just leave. He could have left over and joined Cloud9. I mean, Cloud9 needed to stand in for a while after Stewie left, and now it's Tarek's left. Maybe he could try to go there, but instead he's sticking with Rogue, and he definitely could have changed something after that. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this new type of video, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and also comment what you liked about the video, and what you didn't like, maybe how I could change it up, the format. Also, turn on notifications. And yeah, hopefully I can make new types of videos instead of making it a little bit more depressing. I'd rather make top 5 best. But whatever you guys want me to do, you can recommend that to me. Anyways, see you guys in the next video.